Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. This article comes from the First Net Authority. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So, what I wanted to discuss in this video. So, it looks like the First Net 3.0 strategy is now in play. 1.0, 2.0 seems to be behind them. They met their 5-year build out target. They were within budget. All of that has been met and in some cases exceeded. So now they're moving on to 3.0, and they have 3 keys to success for FirstNet for 3.0. So I wanted to chime in on that as well. So the 3 keys: listen to public safety, learning about FirstNet's impact, leading public safety into the future. So without the network, there is no FirstNet. Let's be clear about that. And a huge part of AT&T's overall success and where the network is today in terms of size, a lot of that comes from FirstNet. If you guys remember, before FirstNet, AT&T's network was it was pretty significantly large, but a huge chunk of it was HSPA only. They never got out to those sites with LTE, and they never had any motivation to do it. Verizon was always the largest network, largest LTE network. Sprint could never even reach the size of where AT&T's HSPA network was. And same with T-Mobile. T-Mobile, even though they got band 12 during the middle of LTE, they could never muster up the amount of capital necessary to scale the network and overlay where AT&T had their HSPA footprint. So even though AT&T was only HSPA, if you wanted choice and rule, you could only go to Verizon's LTE or AT&T's HSPA, because Sprint and T-Mobile just did not exist. They just did not exist within those parts. They did not have that scale. But now with FirstNet and going to those sites, building the core, building out band 14, all of those sites since then have been upgraded to LTE for AT&T, and then they added some more sites on top of that. So that's a pretty significant deal for AT&T and its overall consumer base. Not just FirstNet, but all of the consumers can make use of that coverage. Now, of course, I got to point out, make a disclaimer, in events of emergencies, you can be booted off of the network depending on how severe the emergency is. But when there is no emergency and you're going through your regular day-to-day life, you can make use of that coverage as a regular AT&T consumer. You just have to have, if it's band 14 only in that area, you have to have a band 14 capable device as well, which most devices now, consumer, business, first responders, whatever, most devices now have access to band 14. So what does the future hold for FirstNet? I think now that the 5-year build plan has been, they deployed the band 14 to 99% of sites. They keep building out. But they can't take a break here. They have to continue deploying network. There are spots on the western side of the country that still lag behind Verizon, like Nevada, Arizona. So they have to continue to build out in those parts to fully close the coverage gap. And that doesn't have to do with upgrades or getting sites upgraded. No, that's done. This is new site build territory. The only way that they can now improve moving forward in a lot of these places where they still lack coverage, they have to do it with new site builds. And some of them have been completed. I've seen the chart. I've seen the newsletter. Some of them have been completed. Some of them are still coming in 2024. And I suspect a good chunk of them will still be built out in 2025. But that's a good thing. That shows that FirstNet is making progress. That's better for first responders to have another agency to go to. For those of you who remember, for the longest and still to this day, Verizon holds the bulk when it comes to agencies, first responders. Verizon has the majority. And now AT&T started chipping away at that, and I think with FirstNet not too long ago, they may have caught up to Verizon or may have surpassed them in first responder agency share. But I am told with confidence that on the western side of the country, there is still churn on FirstNet. There is still churn. So people are going to FirstNet, but they're going back to Verizon because the coverage lacks, or there is no coverage at all, or the network is just not good enough. So there's still work to do for AT&T and FirstNet. So they will still have to make a continuous investment. They will still have to build new sites. They will still have to build small cells in the mountainous areas. They still have to build densification. So all of that doesn't stop, but the majority of the build out has been completed. So I just wanted to share the 3 key successes with you guys for FirstNet 3.0. I'll leave a link to this in the description so you guys can check it out. Let me know if you have FirstNet. Let me know if you're seeing a much better coverage build out from AT&T because of Band 14. Let us know in the comments. If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Live. See y'all in the next one. Peace.